bop, bop. Let me go live. What's up? What's up? What's up with y'all? Hey, oh, Connie, you in here quick. That's what I like to see. I'm just throwing this in the Discord real quick. I didn't get a chance to throw it on my story, so we'll see who does pull up. I didn't get a chance to throw it on my stories, but we here. We got the small forwards list today. Should be a good day. How you doing, Connie? I feel like there's no way I'm saying that name right because Connie reminds me like a girl's name, but that might not be right. What's good, JM? How you doing? Thanks for pulling up to the stream. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing all right. I'm just trying to do one last thing. Oh, did I put that in the wrong chat? Oh, no, I put that in the right chat. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything where it's supposed to be. Getting everything together. Hopefully y'all had a good week. 2K drops tomorrow night. You know what I mean? I can't even tell you how excited I am for the 2K drop. I plan on, no exaggeration, playing that game for at least 6 hours the night it dropped. At least 6 hours straight. Because I plan on doing the little New Zealand trick, which apparently allows you to play the game at 8 a.m. instead of, I thought it was 8 p.m. Apparently allows you to play the game at 8 a.m. I doubt I'm going to be playing at 8 a.m. Hey, yo, Rio. Hey, that's how you get niggas in the chats. I said, let me throw RJ on the screen just to get some people to pull up and see the chat. I said I was getting my play. I was gonna do who my top 3 was gonna be, and then I said, let me just throw RJ in here because RJ. It's a lot of Knicks fans out in the world, and RJ gonna get the clicks. RJ gonna get the clicks. You feel me? It's called the bait and switch. But yeah, like I was saying, as I'm trying to get ready, installing for time before we actually get started. I'm excited for 2K dropping tomorrow. If you don't know, if you have an Xbox and you don't know about the New Zealand glitch, apparently if you change your join to New Zealand, you can play at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I thought it was 8 p.m. Apparently it's 8 a.m. I ain't gonna cap. If I knew it was 8 a.m., I would have taken off work tomorrow as well. But I only took off work on Friday, so I'll be playing as soon as I get home from work, till at least 4 or 5 in the morning. I ain't gonna cap. We about to be grinding. And yes, Connie, I am 28. That is accurate. Yes. All right. Let me I'm trying to do one last. That's facts, Rio. We definitely about to be grinding. You already know we gonna be grinding. All right, let's get into this. People will pull up as they pull up. I gave about 5 minutes for a couple of heads to pull up, but I do want to start relatively on time. We did actually do a tier list this week, so that's a plus. We did do the tier list last week. You know, we was doing a little ghetto. We was pulling up the Google the Google pages to show who my list was. But this week I said, let me go ahead and do this right and pull up the actual tier list. So today we're doing top 10, and we'll get into some other NBA news after, like we did last week. Like, we're going to talk about the Donovan Mitchell stuff. I got some thoughts on the Knicks and how they didn't get it. And like, we got a couple of NBA stuff to talk about. Not a ton of moves happened outside of the Donovan Mitchell situation, but I have some thoughts on it. Yeah, yo, chill. So you see, that's my boy in real life. What? Thanks for pulling up to the stream. So you see, though. But yeah, chill on you. That's like, he was in my wedding. That's my boy. All right, so we are doing the top 10 small forwards in the NBA tonight. Very similar to the past ones. You have to have played 41 games. I'm doing this position based on lineups. And I actually have some questions about other players, about the power forward and stuff, but we'll do that later. But I went based on lineups. So I went to every NBA team. I looked at who their small forward was, and I decided whether or not they make the list. I was looking at minutes played at the small forward position because some of these guys may have played a little power forward, may play a little shooting guard depending on position. I mean, depending on who else is on the court with them. But for the majority of this past season, they played small forward. This was an interesting list, especially at that bottom tier. The top 5, I feel like it's pretty solidified in terms of at least who the top 5 are. Your order could be a little switched around. You can make an argument for different orders. But this bottom 5, there's a couple of honorable mentions in this bottom 5. And if you mad because I don't got your guy on the list, you know, I'm sorry. But yeah. He said Hawk like 5'8". Nah, I'm 6'1". I ain't gonna hold you. My torso make me look like I'm 5'8", because yes, all my height is on my legs. ESPN list coming. G, what's good? Thanks for pulling up. And I hope it's funny that you call last week's list like Bleacher Report list. That was really just a vibe. I went off of, once again, just like last week. I can't show you it because it's gonna give up some names, but I made a quick list. I wrote down a bunch of names of people who I thought should at least make the list, and then I started asking people out based off honorable mention or based off once I actually looked at it, maybe they played more power forward or stuff like that. So JM, you asked a great question. So like we said, to get into it, before I pull the whole thing up, to make this list, you had to have played 41 games. Neither Paul George or Kawhi played 41 games, so neither of them are on this list. It is what it is. Hopefully they'll make the list next season. But I mean, if they're healthy, I'll put it that way, they'll make the list next season. Paul George just played 31 games. Kawhi played 11, so neither of them make the list. That's just where we are with that. But if I had to guess, projecting for next year, they might actually let Paul George play the 2 again. Low key, they might let him play the 2 and put Kawhi at the 3. Robert Covington at the 4, maybe. Or anyway, we're getting off track. So let me pull this up. Share the left screen. Nope. Share the right screen. Okay. All right, so this is what we got for the tier list today. We got a couple of, I think it's like 13 names I put here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 names here. So there are a couple of honorable mentions. I'm not going to hold you. Bogdanovich just snuck in here because I had them saved in this folder for a different reason. So there really should only be 13 names. So just ignore him because he played mainly power forward for the Jazz this season. So ignore him. What's good, Les? PG at the 2 is MVP cap. Hey, Rio. Hey, let's talk about it. You feel me? PG at the 2. That's my guy. Yeah, they could throw Morris at the 4. So yeah, they have the Clippers have a lot of options. I would love to see Paul George back at his natural, what I at least feel like is his natural position, the 2 guard. Paul George at the 2 is low key where he can get in his bag because he's then also going up against smaller defenders typically. Like, I don't know. I like him at the 2. Okay. I'm going to leave the suspense and not tell you who my honorable mentions are yet. Maybe after we get to 9 and 10, I'll do some honorable mentions and explain who the honorable mentions are because I don't want to spoil the list right away. I don't know. Jakob, yes. Ant is a 3. Look, I'll do that before we get into it. Let me give you some people who don't make the list because either they didn't play or because they're not in this position. So Paul George doesn't make the list because he didn't play enough games. Didn't play enough games. Anthony Edwards does make this list because while you might think he's a shooting guard, when you look at him, he played alongside of D'Lo and Pat Bev, so he played the 3 all season. LeBron, while his natural position for most of his career is small forward less, he is not on this list because he did not really play small forward this past season. He played a lot of power forward and, believe it or not, a lot of center. After this list, I actually want to ask you guys on where you thought he played. I was looking at his minutes played this past season. Believe it or not, he played a lot of minutes at center. You could almost make the argument he played more minutes at center than at power forward, but I'm curious what the chat's thoughts is on LeBron at the center. Let me see what I look like in terms of this box. Oh, all right. Am I center? I don't feel center. At least not where I want to actually sit. Wow. All right, that looks a lot better. So Brian isn't on here. Who else is not on here? I'm looking at my notes. My guy Keldon Johnson is an honorable mention who didn't fully make this list. I like his game a lot, but he's not on here from the Spurs. Shout out to him. Norman Powell from the Blazers did not make the list. Shout out to him. And I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much everybody in terms of guys who you might think is a small forward. Kevin Durant, I think some people might ask where Kevin Durant is. He played a lot of power forward last year as well. DeAndre Hunter, honorable mention. He like so much of an honorable mention that honestly he was more like the conversation for number 12 or 13 as opposed to number 10. So I didn't even put him in there. Is it because MPJ was in Michael Porter Jr.? Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. did not. You have to play 41 games to make the list. Michael Porter Jr. played like 10. All right, let's get into it. Number 10. So I'll start right now. I went back and forth a lot for number 10. It was a big choice between the guy who I actually picked and the guy who I have is the number 11 spot as my first honorable mention. I went with the guy I'm picking because, as you all know, I'm a guy who loves defense. I'm a guy who loves two-way play. And while my number 10, OG Anunoby, wasn't asked to do as much as my number 1, as my number 11, who's my first honorable mention, RJ Barrett, shout out to him. He didn't make the list, unfortunately. RJ's asked to do more offensively than OG is for his team, but OG has him beat in terms of all the efficiency. He's a better shooter. He, to me, takes smarter shots, but part of that is he doesn't have the offensive responsibilities that RJ has. RJ's asked to do a lot for his team offensively, and because of that, all of his percentages went down. And what OG brings to the Raptors defensively is elite. Yes, OG over DeAndre Hunter. I mean, I always say his first name wrong, but yes, Hunter from the Hawks. Yes, OG over Hunter. Mainly because offensively, I think they're very similar, and I love OG's two-way play. It was close for me. The 10 spot, this 9 and 10 spot was really, really close. I went back and forth between OG and RJ for a while. Those are the two guys I was back and forth on the most. But ultimately, yes, I went with OG. Is my chair acting up? I feel like my chair is sinking. All right, it definitely was because I see myself different in the frame. Range was good. Thanks for pulling up to the stream. Bron played power forward and center this season. He did not play. He low-key didn't play any small forward. Like, he barely played small forward this year. I mean, I wouldn't say Hunter's underrated. He's good. It's just some talented small forwards in the NBA. That's all it is to me. At number 9, I'm going with a guy who had a really good breakout season, a guy who in my mind could have gotten MIP. I think it was a lot of guys that could have gotten MIP this season. At number 9, I'm going with Miles Bridges. We all know we probably won't see him in the NBA again, depending on how his court case goes. And, all his off-court stuff is, it is what it is. As a human being, I don't really rock with him after hearing, the stories and stuff. But as an NBA player, he had a really, really good season. I liked what he did a lot. He had a really, really good season. I struggled with, honestly, initially had him a little higher. What dropped him down to only number 9 for me was mainly his defense and the efficiency in some of his scoring in terms of his percentages. He wasn't as efficient as some of the other guys on this list, but he did have a really, really good year. I was liking what the Hornets were potentially building with him, LaMelo. Heck, if Gordon Hayward can stay healthy, that is a low-key nice team that could fight for a play-in spot. But we'll see what they look like this past season. But Miles Bridges had a really, really good year. I wanted to shout him out. Nah, low-key, they very rarely actually ran that lineup you put range. AD was injured a lot. Dwight played, but not a ton. Bridges, I would classify Bridges as more as a small forward because after I looked at their lineups and he played most of his time as a small forward. And yes, Jakob, he threw the bag out the window. Yeah, they put Connie and PJ Washington out there. Carmelo, as in Carmelo Anthony, at power forward. There was times I think they ran him at the power forward spot, but even then, I think they let at least, especially defensively, they let LeBron run the power forward spot because LeBron can defend forwards better than Melo can. All right, at the number 8, we have first time All Star. Where is he at? Andrew Wiggins. I struggled for where I was going to put Andrew Wiggins. Andrew, while he had a better year, he had what felt like a better year, one of the best years of his career. Numbers wise, it was very similar to what he's been doing throughout his whole career. But like I've said before, but Andrew, we finally cared about him because he was contributing to winning basketball for the first time in his career. My chair is literally getting on my nerves. We liked Andrew a lot because he was contributing to winning basketball for the first time in his career. For me personally, he's at the number 7 spot over somebody like Miles. While Miles hasn't beaten scoring, once again, you know me, I like the two-way play. Andrew Wiggins was deemed in the playoffs, and he did it a lot throughout the whole regular season, but he was just I can do everything for the Warriors guy. When they needed rebounding, he was there to get reboundings. When they needed him to step up defensively, he could step up defensively. When they needed him to score a little bit and create his own shot, he had the ability to do that as well, but also knock down wide open threes off of a Curry driving kick. Wiggins did a lot for this team. His numbers aren't some of the flashiest numbers compared to some of the other guys on this list, but in terms of the talent and the impact he had on his team, I got to have him at number 8. Yes, Jakob's situation is everything. Oh, am I missing him? Hold on. Who am I missing? Oh, that's crazy. How did I miss his face? All right. Hold on. Because somebody just pointed out I'm missing Jimmy Butler. And the funny part is Jimmy Butler is on my list, but apparently his face did not get downloaded and transferred over to the tier list. Hold on half a second. Let me just add Jimmy to the list. Let me edit. Upload set of images. How did I forget to add Jimmy? That's crazy. Hold on half a second, y'all. Yeah, you brought up a good point, Range. Because Jimmy should be on here. I ain't mad at you for that. Jimmy's definitely on my list. He's high on the list too. But I forgot to add his headshot. I downloaded it, but not in here some way, somehow. Player photos, small forward headshots, date modified. Let's add Butler. All right, that didn't take too long. Share right. All right, now Butler's on this list. Nah, Range, you were not wrong about Jimmy Butler. He should have been on the list. I just forgot to add his face. So I thank you for putting that in the chat. Good shout out to you. Situation is everything. Y'all kept, like you said, talking about Wiggins. Can we all agree that Ben Simmons at 83 is disrespectful? Disrespectful as he should be higher or lower. When it comes to 2K rating players who we haven't seen in a year, who are allegedly, I don't want to use that word, that's rude, who's coming off of injury, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to, I'm not mad at the 83. And also because 2K is good at, if a player is showing that they way above or way below their rankings, they're going to be switched pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you think he should be 84 to 86, then I'm not tripping over to 83. That's just how I look. That's how I look at 2K ratings. While we're here, I ain't gonna cap. Just real quick, while we're here, everybody was been mad at the 2K ratings just in general. And when I see people mad at the 2K ratings, they'll be like, for example, and I'm not trying to pick on your range. Please don't get offended by this. It's just an example. Um, for example, the Ben Simmons at 83, but then you say he should be 84 to 86. I've seen people on Twitter saying like, I don't know, X player is way underrated, and 2K might have gave him like an 85. We're gonna talk about the KD thing, and 2K might have gave him like an 85, and they're like, "Who? This guy's got way underrated. He's got way disrespected." And then somebody will ask him, well, "What should they have been?" And we're like, "Well, they should have been like an 86 or 87." So was 1 or 2 points really way disrespected? Like Kevin Durant talking about some, um, I should be a 99 when they made him a 96. I want to say Giannis is a 97. He's the only one 97, and he's a 96. And then he's saying that he should be a 99. First off, he shouldn't. Um, but also, at least to me, 3 attribute points difference is like not that crazy to be. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 attribute points in terms of overall, and people saying players is wildly disrespected is crazy to me. And yes, 99 for KD don't make sense to me personally. What did Trae Young get that y'all saying Trae Young got disrespected? Trae not top 10 is disrespect. I don't think Trae Young not being top 10, it ain't disrespect to me personally. And I love Trae Young. I called Trae Young the 3rd best point guard in the NBA. But like, what was he, a 90? Trae got 90. That's tough. He'll probably end up higher, but I can see it. Like I can see why they did it, because I'd have gave Trae Young like a 92, but I ain't tripping. All right, back to the list. Now that we got Jimmy put on here in the proper spot. So the number 4, no, not the number 4 spot. At the number, where's my list at? Where we at? Number 7? To be honest, with the league, this talent being a couple spots for people is a bit disrespectful. Robert Williams had 2 spots higher than Ben Simmons, and he got an 85. I'm not mad at Robert Williams being 85 and Ben being 83. Because like we said, we haven't seen Ben Simmons, and Robert Williams just almost won Defensive Player of the Year. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Hey, Guru, what's good? Thanks for pulling up to the chat. At the number 7 spot, we talked about my love for two-way play. This is another guy who, looking at maybe just his offensive numbers, doesn't necessarily put some of the numbers that some of these other guys have up, but he was All-NBA first team, could have won Defensive Player of the Year. His two-way play for his team is absolutely insane. At number 7, I'm going Mikal Bridges. This little core 4 right here, well, not really. OG was always going to be my number 10. But this little core 3 right here, I went back and forth a lot on. Miles became number 9 because he doesn't really get that much defense. Wiggins became number 8 because I like his two-way play and his versatility for his team, and situation can mean a lot for different players. And then Mikal gets number 7 because his shooting is the best out of the 3. He's probably asked to do the least offensively, but what he brings defensively to his team is unmatched. Yo, G got me dead. Why has Ben so good, bro? Explain Ben can't shoot free throws threes and barely middies. He's also was in his prime 2nd year in the league. Hey, that's hilarious, G. And I know it's striking a chord because we Sixers fans. And I can hear your voice typing this out. Hey, Jackson Sanborn. That's definitely a new name. Thanks for pulling up to the stream. Appreciate you. Mikal is better two-way player than Wiggins. I agree. That's why he's higher. I got Mikal 7, Wiggins 8. Oh, Range is saying Wiggins over Mikal. I don't know. I think because to me personally, the reason Mikal gets the nod over Wiggins is because when I think of both these teams offensively, I think both of them fall in the same pecking order in terms of offensive importance to their team. Because if I had to do the Warriors, it'd be like obviously Steph, And then the way they've been playing, it'd probably be Jordan Poole and then Wiggins for the majority of the season. Then Clay comes back and you can move it around there if you would like to. But then when it comes to the Suns, I would say it's Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and then you can argue it's Mikal Bridges or it's DeAndre Ayton. So in terms of their offensive importance to their teams and the numbers they put up on the offensive side of the ball is very similar. But Mikal Bridges was arguably Defensive Player of the Year this year and was first team all defense. Andrew Wiggins was not. So that's why he gets the nod from me. I wanted to low-key put him higher, but just what some of these other guys bring to their teams, I couldn't put him higher than 7, even though he was all defensive first team. Yeah, range. I see what you're saying in terms of like how he fits on the Nets. But to go back to that Ben Simmons conversation in terms of like talking about just his rating, that's not gonna affect like 2K is not gonna project how he's gonna play for the rating. They're just gonna go based off what he did at this point 2 seasons ago to an extent because he didn't even play last year, so they can't even go by last year. Hey, Low Gaming, thanks for pulling up. Had to drop by. I was at the park getting shots up. That's love right there. I be, hey yo, G and Rio, we gotta start hooping again because I be wanting to hoop sometimes, or at least want to put some shots up. I can't tell you the last time I touched the ball. I gotta get back outside, touch some grass. At number at number 6, this is one of the younger guys on this list. I want to say he's in his third year. He's only in his second year, but he had a big year, stepped up big for his team. At number 6, I'm going with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was tough for me, and I put him in number 6 because I think the guys ahead of him just do a little bit more for their team and have you can argue with me with the number 5 spot. I'll give you the number 5 spot to argue with me when we get there. But to me, Anthony Edwards has done a lot for this team. He's probably the biggest. He is the Timberwolves' perimeter threat when it comes to scoring. He is the Timberwolves' future. I've said this before. After they did the Rudy Gobert trade, it's clear to me that they feel and believe that Anthony Edwards can take that leap into superstardom. Maybe not next year, but the year after that. I see all NBAs in his future. I see multiple All-Stars in his future. And honestly, call me crazy, he can be in the conversation for MVPs, not no time soon, but you look at him, he's 27, 28, 30 years old. He could probably be in those conversations for MVPs later down in his career. That's the type of career I see Anthony Edwards projecting. But this past year, he had a really, really good season. He surprised me so much of how well he can shoot the ball. And if he can continue shooting the ball at that clip, like no exaggeration, I want to say I can pull it up right now. Because when I was looking at it, I was very surprised of how well he shot. Anthony, let me just type in Edwards because there's mad people named Anthony. And the NBA currently in pass. I was very surprised of how many threes he shot when I was looking. Yeah, he shot 35% on 8.5 attempts. I know like when I watch the Timberwolves, yes, he is shooting the ball a lot, but seeing that number really did surprise me. If he can take that 35% and continue to, like, his rookie year, he was 32. Sophomore year, he was 35. And he can hover around somewhere like 37, 38% for his career and still continue to shoot at a high volume, 8, 9 threes a game. You compare that with his ability to get to the rim at an elite level. He adds a mid-range. If he ever adds a mid-range game to his bag, he'll be very, very hard to guard and dang near unstoppable. Really good career. Defensively, he's solid. I think he can step up a little bit more defensively for this team. He's not a bad defender, but I just think he could do a little bit more. Part of that could be he had to guard a bigger defenders because they ran a lot with Pat Bev and D'Lo last year, so he had bigger assignments. So if you give him some guys that are more so in his height and weight class, maybe he'll look like a better defender. I like Anthony Edwards' game a lot, though. I changed my name as my mom gave me just to December. Oh, okay, Jackson. All right, I feel that. I think I do remember that. And over Wiggins, yeah. I would take Anthony Edwards over Andrew Wiggins. And it's not even less. It's not even disrespect to Wiggs. I love Wiggs, but Anthony Edwards has a bigger his team needs him more. I'll say that Anthony Edwards has a bigger impact for his team. And to be honest with you, even if you take Wiggins off the Warriors, and I mean it's not a fair comparison, but compare Andrew Wiggins' previous seasons with Anthony Edwards' sophomore year, and I'd still take Anthony Edwards. If Giannis wins, Range says if Giannis wins another MVP and championship this year, is he better than Kevin Durant? Uh, you mean in terms of career or in terms of player right now? I'm curious what you mean by that, because then he has 3 MVPs, 2 chips, and a DPOY. Okay, so you're talking all time, of course. He's better now. Yeah, I would take that. Yeah, if he was, if if Giannis wins another MVP and DPOY, he's going to be better than a decent amount. Like he gonna enter some interesting conversations in terms of where people rank him all the time. He gonna enter some interesting conversations. Yes, G. Anthony Edwards' upside is crazy. All right, back to the list. I was just seeing if y'all was saying something interesting in there. At number 5, so the top 5 was really interesting for me. Maybe not so much the number 5. The number 5 guy I kind of knew. Like I didn't really have the thought of him entering top 4, but I'll just go ahead and get into it. Number 5, I have Brandon Ingram. I think he had a really, really good year. The reason, and I'll give it to you right now, the reason I put him over Anthony Edwards is while the numbers are similar, I would say Anthony Edwards is probably the better 3-point shooter. Brandon Ingram is the better mid-range shooter. The separator for me was Brandon Ingram showed us a lot this year, his playmaking ability. Now, are the numbers crazy when it comes to him for playmaking? No. But there were a lot of moments where I saw him making the right pass, driving and kicking, especially when CJ got there, being able to play well along with CJ. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Pelican teams can do next season if healthy. Biggest if in the NBA, yes, I know. But if they can stay healthy, they're going to be very, very dangerous. And Brandon Ingram is going to be a big piece of that. He showed a lot of playmaking upside this year. Something that he may have shown in previous years, and maybe I'll just admit I didn't see it. But this year he showcased to me that he's, I won't say an amazing playmaker, but he's solid. He surprised me with his playmaking ability because I knew he could score. We knew the scoring was there. We knew the mid-range was there. We knew the three-pointer was there. We knew he was crafty. He can get to the rim. The Kevin Durant comparisons have been there throughout his entire career because he has the height and ability to shoot over people. But he definitely showed me at least that the separator for him between Anthony Edwards and Brandon Ingram is Brandon Ingram's ability to play make a little bit. Yeah, Big Eye is nice. Now when I looked at the Bulls lineup, DeMar played a lot of power forward. I mean, excuse me, a lot of small forward. He just what's what I'm looking for? They just had him listed as a they had him listed as a power forward for one of the votings this season. But when I had their lineups pulled up, he played a lot of small forward this year. Because the Bulls ran a lot with hold on, I'm trying to pull it up to explain what I was looking at before. Holy. Oh, maybe I was looking at somebody different. Well, I could have been looking at somewhere else. But I'll put it to you this way. I won't be mad if you have DeMar in your power forward list. For me, he's in my small forward list because we're here now. We're here now. For me, he's in my small forward list. I wouldn't be mad if you had him in your power forward list, but he's in my small forward list. We're here now. I didn't spend hours looking at this list. I ain't changing it at the last second. More Heat, please. I feel like that's the new name. Thanks for pulling up to the stream. Lonzo, Caruso, Levine, Lamar, and Vucevic. Yes, that was it for a decent amount, but then I remember like when Lonzo and Caruso was out, he had to step up and get moved around. Small ball forward till Alonzo got injured. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He did play a lot of 4, but I think when I looked at the minutes, he ended up playing more at the 3 because of the Lonzo and Caruso injuries. So they had to do some shifting. It is what it is. If he's in your power forward list, like I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't mad at you. All right. At number 4, we have a guy who I think a lot of people forgot about because he got injured at a really bad time and we couldn't see him in the playoffs. And number 4 is where I'm going, Chris Middleton. I love Chris Middleton's game. His two-way play is there. The shooting is there. The shot making is there. He works so well alongside Giannis. And you can make the argument that if he was there in the playoffs, the Bucks probably could have been in the finals. That's how important he is to his team defensively and offensively. He does a lot for the Bucks, and he was really having a really, really good season before he got injured. So I ain't mad at him. I like him at the 4. I ain't mad at it at all. At number 3 is where I have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler reminds me so much of Kawhi Leonard. And the reason is very similar to Kawhi in terms of sometimes it feels like they both don't care about the regular season. For a lack of a better phrase, for a lack of putting it nicely, sometimes it really feels like they don't care about the regular season because I don't want to say it doesn't like they're trying, but whether they're maybe load managing or taking it a little slow, not going 110%, because they know their team's good enough to get them to the playoffs at a high seed. And then when it comes to the playoffs, both of them turn it up so much for their teams. One of the glaring weaknesses in Jimmy Butler's game is obviously his shooting, but that doesn't stop him from being productive, from scoring at a high clip. His field goal percentage is very good. And he gets to his spots and he's able to score when, even though everyone on the court knows he's not shooting a 3, he's still able to get things done. And I love that about him. What are y'all asking? I see a lot of people asking about Paul George. Nah, Paul George's face was there because he's one of my honorable mentions, just like Keldon Johnson's face is there. He's an honorable mention. Norman Powell's face is there. He's an honorable mention. RJ's an honorable mention. Paul George does not make the list because he did not play 41 games. He played 31 games, missed it by 10 games. At number 2, this is controversially enough. This is where I have DeMar DeRozan at number 2. Like we said earlier, if he's on your power forward list, that is okay with me. He's on my small forward list. DeMar had a really, really great season. He came in there and had not only a really, really great season, DeMar came in and had the best season of his career. A lot of people, myself included, was surprised by this. I did not think he had a season like this left in his bag, especially after watching him with the Spurs for his time there. I don't necessarily thought he was on a steep decline of his career, but I thought he was leaving his prime, if I'm going to be honest with you. And he showed, I'm still in my prime. I'm still one of the best in the league. I want to say he was All-NBA second team this year. He had an amazing season. He had so many clutch moments for the Bulls throughout this season in terms of his clutch numbers of how much he was scoring in the clutch, but also like actual buzzer beaters. I remember during the regular season, there was a moment where he had back-to-back nights where he literally hit buzzer beaters to win the game for the Bulls. He was phenomenal this year for the Chicago Bulls. And then, obviously, y'all guessed it in the chat. Little Gaming guessed in the chat. Tatum's number 1. Tatum is my best small forward in the league this season. Had an absolutely amazing year. First team All-NBA for the first time in his career. And he really put on for the Boston Celtics. Him and Jason Tatum. I can't just give it all to... him and Jaylen Brown. I can't give it all to just Tatum. But Tatum, to me, was the best small forward this past season. And I saw it. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I saw it from the beginning when back in December, everybody was saying, hey, yo, break up Tatum and Brown, trade one of them. And I was like, nah, keep them both. They will figure it out. And surprisingly, one of the things I like the most about Tatum's year this year, outside of the scoring and the defense, he stepped up a little bit in terms of playmaking. I'm not going to call him the best playmaker on this list, but he did step up his playmaking ability and being able to find some open shooters on his team when he's driving to the basket. Hey, Lance Stevenson. What's good? Where's Braun? Braun is either going to be on the power forward or potentially even the center list, believe it or not. I ain't going to hold you. I ain't going to hold you. So, final list is Jason Tatum, DeMar DeRozan, Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton, Brandon Ingram, Anthony Edwards, Mikal Bridges, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, and OG Anunoby. Shout out to him. And then you got my mainly all my honor. Pick Bogdanovich out of this. He's a power forward. But these are my honorable mentions: RJ, PG, Keldon Johnson, and Norman Powell. So yeah, that's the list. You would do Ingram over Middleton. That's tough. I couldn't give you that. I love Ingram's game, but I stand 10 toes down on my 4. I can't give you Ingram over Middleton. I couldn't give you that. I ain't gonna hold your range. And Ant. Oh, so you can move Ant and Ingram, but I would still give Ingram a nod because of his playmaking. Like, I ain't gonna be mad if you move Ant and Ingram, but I'm 10 toes down over Middleton over Ingram and Ant. I'm 10 toes down on that. I ain't gonna hold you. I like the list a lot. Honestly, personally, swap Bridges. I would swap Bridges. Swap Bridges with Wiggins, or are you saying just swap both Bridges? Both. I couldn't even say that right. Swap both Bridgeses, or are you saying swap Bridges, Mikal Bridges, and Andrew Wiggins? G. I'm just trying to see. You do Wiggins over Mikal. Bills Mafia. I ain't mad at it. To me, the reason. Oh, you would just swap both Bridges? Wow, you high on Miles like that. So Miles over Wiggins. Like, them 3, I'm not mad at. Like, when I tell you I had I'm subscribed to this thing called Basketball B-Ball Index, which gives you some slightly more in-depth breakdowns when it comes to comparing players and putting their stats in either percentiles, comparing them to other players in the NBA. You compare them to each other. You compare them to just wings, just guards, just bigs. And so I spent a long time, like literally no exaggeration, like 40 minutes looking at just between B-Ball Index, Basketball Reference, Cleaning the Glass, low key even went back and watched like some footage, not nothing crazy. I wasn't going in depth for this that much, but I like spent a long time looking at stats between Miles Bridges, Andrew Wiggins, and Mikal Bridges. I think initially I think Miles over both, but then I was really looking at what Mikal and Andrew bring to the offensive side of the ball. It's not like they're scrubs on offense and they're a lot better defensively. So I did put them over him. So I'm not mad at switching them 3 around because that was a real tough cluster for me. I ain't gonna hold you. That was probably the hardest cluster to put in the order. So I wouldn't be mad at that. In my opinion, it would go. Let me see. Mikal. Range says Mikal, Miles, RJ. So you'd have RJ at 8. Interesting. Wiggins, Middleton at the 5, Ingram, and Ingram would be Middleton at the 6, and then Ingram at the 5, and at the 4, DeMar, Jimmy, Tatum. That's tough. Personally, I don't know if I'm ready to put Ingram and Ant over Middleton, but that's just me. You feel me? That's just me. I ain't mad at you. How did RJ not make the list? RJ was a tough one. So I'll give you a real quick breakdown of why RJ didn't make the list. One, yes, range, very, very talented league. But to me, the reason RJ didn't make the list, and you can say it's because he's asked to do more. He was just really inefficient this year in terms of shooting accuracy. Like, I want to say he shot like 30% from 3 on a decent amount of, like, I can pull it up. I literally had it up. I just was looking at him. He didn't shoot the ball well. He shot 30, not bad, but he shot 34% from 3, 40% from the field. Granted, yes, a lot of that was because he's asked to do a lot for this team. You can make the argument him over OG. He does score more than OG technically, and OG has better pieces around him. But I really do like what OG brings defensively, and I know I'm a sucker for two-way play. I wouldn't be mad at RJ being over OG. If that's your list, that's your list. That's why RJ is 11 on my list. OG is 10 on my list. But I value two-way play like a lot, so it is what it is. Les says, can you do all-time top 10? Oof. Oof. Oh, you used to be Reels. Okay, yeah, I remember you, Reels. You're Lance Stevenson. Why did you switch to Lance Stevenson? Oh, a list based off pure skill. Oof. Oh boy. All right. Let's get into some other stuff. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Then I got a couple other things I want to talk about before we get up out of here. But it's just fun idea. Do a list of the pure skill conversation. Pure skill and all-time conversations are. How can I put this nicely? I can do one. I don't mind doing one, right? I'm just gonna have to put a lot of caveats or prefixes, parameters on it, because so many people I think really get hung up on their top 10 lists. And if you have, I don't know, if you have Hakeem over Shaq, or if you have Bird over Magic, or if you have Kareem behind Kobe, or if you have whatever, people get in such an uproar and then so like angry about top 10 lists, which causes me to like not want to make one. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if I ever really given this two thoughts about who my top 10 really is, or at least not the order they're in. I can probably name you 12 guys 12 to 13 for real guys who have the argument to be in the top 10 list, and probably haven't really taken the time to really sit and write down who my list is. But I could do it for the stream. I'll do it for y'all. I think it would be fun. But if it start getting crazy and people going crazy, it'll probably be the last one I ever do. Well, because also the reason I'm like not crazy on top 10 lists, because let's be real, I'll be scrolling on TikTok and come across a player's choice clip, and it's just a whole bunch of grown men yelling at the top of their lungs with veins popping out their neck because somebody said Tim Duncan had a better career than Kobe. And I'm like, yo, it's really not even that crazy, because at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about top 10 players, you really can make an argument that any one of the guys in the top 10 can be the GOAT. Call me crazy for saying it, but for real, when you're really looking at it, when you really breaking it down, you can make a real argument that almost every guy that's in the top 10 could be the GOAT. You could at least make an argument that top 5 is the GOAT. So that's why I don't really be going crazy over them. Like, you could say MJ the GOAT, you could say LeBron the GOAT. Heck, you could tell me Kareem is your GOAT. You could tell me Kobe is your GOAT. It's a lot of guys you could tell me is your GOAT, and I'd be like, I ain't mad at it. I can see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see it. I'm not mad at it. They all got amazing once in a lifetime careers and once in a lifetime basketball skill and ability. Hey, so I don't be mad at people's top 10s. But that's also why I don't really get into them, because some people really be taking them too serious for me. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, hey, bro. My whole thing is like, I just like talking basketball with people. I'm not trying to fight you over your takes. Some people be trying to fight over the takes. Hey, Princess Plays, what's good? What's good? No, range. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was alluding to. Thanks for bringing it up. I've seen the case, making a case for GOAT. Did Low do that, or did Dom 2K do that? Like, it's an OG YouTube series called Case for GOAT. And we're gonna do Pirtle, Connie. Good looks. We're gonna do Pirtle. I see. I ain't ignoring y'all. We're gonna do Pirtle. Oh, you saw one from Clayton Crowley? I'm gonna show you the one I seen when I was growing up. They were really, really good. This one, I mean, I don't care about plugging other people. That's what I like. NBA content. Case for GOAT. Who did that? Who did the one I'm talking about? Oh, see, I've never even seen the Christian Crowley one. The Clayton Crowley one from a year ago. Oh, snap. These are good. I'm going to check them out. The ones I'm talking about are... So I'm assuming these are the ones you're talking... Oh, he got a whole lot. He got LeBron, Bird, Tim, Bill. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's... But the one I'm talking about is... So Dom 2K has a series that he called Cases for the Greatest of All Time. He starts out with LeBron, but I want to say he does Kareem. He does MJ, obviously. I think he does Kobe. He does a lot of different guys. Let me see if I type in Dom 2K. Because those are the ones I don't want to say grew up watching. I'm not that old, but I swore he did more than just Brian. Yeah, there goes Kareem's. There goes Magic's. So yeah, he did a couple, but I will check out. Clayton Crowley. I'm going to start this.
Basketball is special.
I can add it to my watch later list. Is that a thing? No? Where's the add to watch later list button? It's in my history now. I'll find it. That's fine. You said it's really good. They did MJ, LeBron, Kareem. I'll have to check it out. Hey, Range, what's good, man? Yeah, I can pull the list back up for you. This is the list, Range. This was the list we ended up on. This is the list we ended up with, Range. Yeah, I got you, Range. I got you, Range. The biggest controversies that was in the chat was probably this little core right here. Both Bridges and Wiggins. A lot of people moved them around. A lot of people was mad that I didn't have RJ. I had OG over RJ. But you know, Range, if you don't want to go back and watch the whole thing, probably my hope is by Friday I'll have it up, because you know I'll be chopping the stream up and just putting all my reasoning in one joint. It'll probably be up Thursday or Friday at the latest. You know, 2K dropping, so I ain't gonna cap. I gotta get it done before 2K drop, because if I don't get it done before 2K drop, I'll be like, yee. I don't know. I gave DeMar over Jimmy because DeMar had literally a career season Rage. Kamar had like a crazy season. Hey, Triple OG, what's good? It's all right, man. If you are late, there's always Rewatch Gang. You feel me? If you want to watch the whole stream to get the chat involvement in as well. But y'all know me. We're going to chop up the stream, and I'll put together the top 10 small forward list. It'll probably be like what they've been like. They've all been like between 12 and 15, 17 minutes. Oh, he does teams too. 89 Pistons, 71 Bucks, 87 Lakers, 86 Celtics, 17 Warriors, 96 Bulls, 01 Lakers. I'd be interested in them 70s and 80s teams. I ain't gonna cap. I don't do a great job of I'll check out Jimmy High Roller's Case for Goats. I love Jimmy High Roller's videos, bro. Jimmy High Roller's videos are like top tier. The editing that goes into Jimmy High Roller's videos, I'd love to meet him and ask him if he does this editing or he has a team, because it's crazy. Like, absolutely crazy. You've been watching sports all day. Have y'all been watching, speaking of watching sports all day, while I pull up the next thing I want to talk about, have y'all been watching any of the Eurobasket stuff? It comes on when I'm at work, so I don't really get a chance to watch it live. But I'll be watching highlights afterwards. Did y'all see the shot that Luka made over Gobert, that one-handed with the right off the left foot joint? The Luka shot? Did y'all see that? Let me pull it up if y'all haven't seen it. If y'all haven't seen it, I gotta show it, because this joint don't make no sense. This joint. Just highlight, same G. I ain't got time during the day. I ain't got time during the day to watch it. But this shot over Rudy, I was like, okay, Luka. Luka gonna mess around and not come back, because he like, hey, yo, can't nobody guard me over here. I mean, can't nobody guard Luka in the NBA neither. Let's keep it a B. But really can't nobody guard him over there. Where is this joint? Like, did y'all see? This was wild. I don't really need sound. It's gonna be mad loud. I don't want sound.
Watch this.
This was to beat the shot clock.
Of the tournament.
Like, that draw was off of 1 foot, same hand. Right foot, right hand. Just cash. That's wild.
The thing is, he
that is wild.
Has so much bravado that he's able.
Like, how do you even make that? Look, y'all gonna gas it, or y'all might hate me for this. I almost tweeted it out, but I didn't want people to say I was gassing it. Y'all remember that shot LeBron did over the Raptors in the playoffs at the buzzer beater to win that game, where it was he drove to the left side of the basket, like right outside the paint, and he did that little one arm bank, like that one arm, but it was a bank shot, and it dropped in to win the game. That Luka shot was low key that on steroids, because LeBron's was a 2 at the block. Luka did that joint from 3. Like, yes, Rage, he did his floater from the 3-point line, bro. Like, what is he on, bro? Oh, y'all don't remember the LeBron shot? All right, I'm gonna pull it up. This is when I saw Luka shot. It reminded me of this. LeBron one hand shot over Raptors. It was the walk-off buzzer beater. Let me see. We got this Bleacher Report.
Some pressure here.
Boom. I don't need all this sound. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, so this was. Come on, YouTube. Don't flag me, YouTube. You know what I mean? We only showing about 30 seconds of an NBA game. This was 103-103, as you can see. Toronto, Cleveland. Cleveland leads 2-0. This is the. I don't know what round this is to keep it a bean. If the Warriors are playing the Pelicans, this might be like first round. First or second round. This is either first or second round. LeBron brings it up. Full court, 8 seconds left. Blows by. That's not. Who is that? Is that OG? Or because that's Siakam. Is that a young OG? That might be young OG. First off. Oh, this not even in 1080p. Bleacher Report, not. That's what that shot reminded me of so much. Let me see if they got a close up. John. Like a slowed down version. Here we go. That Luka shot immediately reminded me of this when I saw it. When I saw this is exactly what that Luka shot reminded me of. Just a one arm weird floater at the buzzer beater. LeBron banked his end for the game. Luka's was a shot clock, but it was also a 3, and he didn't have to bank it in. Absolutely insane. Oh, dang, Lance stinks to this day. Oh, you did just say you are a Raptors fan. Bro is his own Trae Young. Luka's 50 times better than Trae Bulls Mafia. Oh, I remember this. Oh, second round 2018. Dang, I ain't gonna hold you, Lance. The fact that you knew this was second round 2018, that shot hurt. I know that shot hurt. That sound like me when I talk about the shot Kawhi hit over my Sixers game 7 in 2019 of the second round. That shot that bounced. Boom, 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 boom. 4 times and then went in. I literally can hear the sound of that ball hitting the rim 4 times because, fun fact, Toronto, for some random reason, that series, or at least that year, had this loud mic on the rim. So the sounds of the ball bouncing on the rim is dumb loud. And I can literally hear it right now as I think about it. Anyway. All right. So a couple of things around the NBA world before we get out of here. The Donovan Mitchell trade happened. I like it a lot. I like the trade a lot for the Cavs. I really do think I've already said this before. Video on the channel, shameless plug, the last video uploaded. Thanks for cheering me up. The last video uploaded on the channel talks about my full thoughts, but real quick, I really do like the trade a lot. The Donovan Mitchell to the Cavs, to me, solidifies them as a top 5 seed. No question, like hands down, they're a top 5 seed. Same tier, to me at least. Same tier as the Heat, the Sixers, and the Nets. Oh, you did see your Eastern ranking? You see it on Discord? Bet. I'll check it out. Solidifies them as a top 5 in the East. Puts them on the same level as the Sixers, the Heat, and the Nets. Yes, the Nets too. To me, the Nets they're not a lock. To me, the Nets are not a lock for top 2. Like I got some questions about them still. I got too many questions. And for the Jazz, hey, I'm not mad at the Jazz. They now have 15 draft picks, and they could probably have a world where they're going to get even more because they can still move Conley, they can still move Bogdanovich. Yeah, they're better than the Raptors now. I'll say, yeah, that's the crazy piece. Because initially, yeah, before this trade, I probably had them. I was like, okay, they're gonna be around the Raptors. One of them is probably gonna be a play-in team, but I have faith that they were gonna beat whoever they matched up with. But I was like, one of them are probably gonna have to play in the play-in. Now I'm like, the Raptors are probably gonna be the team that has to play in the play-in. The Raptors or the Hawks. I'm not really sure which one. Or the Bulls, actually. Low-key, the Bulls are probably going to be the team that has to play in the play-in because we don't know how much time they're going to miss without Lonzo Ball. On the flip side of things, did we talk about Patrick Beverley being the sixth? Is the stream frozen for y'all? Somebody saying the stream frozen, somebody saying the stream not frozen. On my end, it's telling me everything's good. You know what I'm saying? Guru, if the stream is frozen just for you and everybody else is okay, I was gonna say if the stream's frozen just for you and it seems fine on my end, or it seems fine to everybody else in the chat, just sometimes just refresh and it'll do it. Did we talk about the Pat Bev trade last week? I can't remember if that was last week or this week. Did we talk about that last week? I think we did talk. Yeah, we talked about that a while ago. They had their press conference. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I meant to before the stream. I saw a couple of clips. I saw Pat Bev and Russ dapping it up, gave a little hug after. I saw some smiles from the two of them. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not too high on the Lakers. I ain't gonna hold you. Anything else in the NBA world to talk about before we did Pirtle? Am I missing any NBA news, y'all? I know it's been slow. Like it ain't really much news to talk about. Let's keep it a beam. But am I missing any NBA news before we do Pirtle real quick? I'm pulling up NBA Central. That's like my go-to Twitter account to follow for just like quick NBA news. Hornets or Pistons record-wise? Pistons. I'd say Pistons because Miles Bridges ain't playing. That's gonna suck. Cade's gonna have another year under his belt. They got both Jadens that they wanted. They got Ivy and they got another draft pick that I really liked. The Pistons had a really good draft night. But if Gordon Hayward could play, I think it'd be close. I think it would be close, but I would say potentially like within a game or two, Jalen Dorian, thank you. Within like a game or two, I would say Pistons over the Hornets, but literally like maybe a game or two. Yeah, Jalen, Dorian, and Jaden. Yeah, hey, it's a lot of J's in the league in these last couple of years in terms of the new names that I gotta remember. I'm just curious, anything on NBA Central to talk about real quick. Bleacher Report's top 5 villains over the last 10 years. What? Yo, when I tell you Bleacher Report just be making articles about anything, can y'all see that? Yeah, it's like a lot big enough. That's what she said. Green, Pat Bev, James Harden, KD, Chris Paul. That's mad rude. Luka had 47. I didn't PP had 47. Nick Young names Luke Walton as someone he wants to fight in a boxing match. That would be easy. Yo, I'm tired. I don't need no more celebrity boxing matches. Gilbert Arena says Chelsea fan called him the N-word before. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not necessarily that surprised. Just keep it at a bean. Um, 2020 was the most meaningful title championship. You don't find me crying on the court for no reason. I didn't know he did who did he do the interview with? If it's like a video interview, I'll watch it. If it's just who did he won 4 championships, recently made it clear, recent interview, Curry. Oh, with Sports Illustrated. I will check that out later. Nice. That's the Pat Bev and Russ stuff he was talking about. Steven A. says Nikola, Joel Embiid over Nikola Jokic in his top 5. If it's just numbers, we're going to Jokic. If it's talent, I'm going Embiid. I'm not mad at it, especially me being a Sixers fan. Obviously, I'm not gonna be mad at it. Yeah, slow NBA news week. What else y'all talking about? Cade will have a LaMelo like jump this year. Jaylen Brown, Jalen Green, Jalen Ivey, Brunson. There's exactly mad Jalen's in the NBA. All right, let's play a quick game of Pirtle, and then we're gonna be out of here. Because I'll be honest, I don't think I have anything more to talk about. I'm really looking forward to the NBA season. It's literally first week in October is when preseason starts. So we're looking at it's a whole 4 more weeks left in September. Well, 3.5 left in September. That's all right. 2K gonna make you go by fast. You said your reason for the Cavs on the server. Let me see. Oh yeah, my Sixers got Montrezl Harrell. Good looks, Connie. I was talking to my boy G about it. He was in the chat earlier, and he said, at first I was like, why did we do this? Like, I wasn't high on it. I wasn't against it. I was just like, okay. And then I thought, well, if somehow Montrezl Harrell can turn into the Montrezl Harrell that he was for the Clippers or even the Rockets, I would love it. I do think his last couple of seasons, especially with the Wizards, we didn't necessarily see the Wizards and the Lakers to an extent. We didn't necessarily see an amazing Montrez. Like the Lakers Montrez wasn't the same as the Clippers Trez. But I think part of that could be what unlocked him when he was a Clipper, what made Montrezl Harrell so good as a Clipper was playing alongside Lou Will in those pick and roll situations. And specifically because you can then make the argument, well, why didn't he play good pick and rolling with LeBron? Because I was about to say playing with a great playmaker like Lou Will in those pick and roll situations, but what to me at least more specifically made it so effective was Lou Will is a threat to pull up from either 3 or that mid range, whereas LeBron James and who else would have been running pick and rolls with him, like Rondo or Avery Bradley, was not. But doing pick and rolls with someone like Tyrese Maxey and especially James Harden, both of those guys are very good to elite pull up shooters. So I can at least hope that at least the pick and roll sense will be better. And I'm not mad at him being a backup big for Joel, because if we did not pick him up, I love Paul Reed, but we would have been leaning on Paul Reed to do a lot of backup minutes. And I don't know if he's the backup you want for a team that has championship aspirations. I'll try to say that in the least disrespectful way possible. At least not the go-to backup. He's going to get some minutes and he's going to play for sure. I like his game, but I do think Montrezl Harrell could be a better player, at least at their current stages in their careers. I'll say that. Range says Montrezl is going to be our backup big. No, he's definitely going to be the backup big, but I'm not mad at it, because while if you stagger Joel and Harden a little bit, or even Joel, Harden, and Maxey, whatever guard is on the court between Maxey and Harden can run a lot of pick and rolls with Trez, and I'm not mad at that at all. I should watch AM Hoops. AM Hoops? Who's AM Hoops? Dwight Howard need to be signed with the Celtics ASAP? Nah, y'all don't need no more centers. Range, to me at least, the Celtics, y'all got Al Horford, Robert Williams, and Grant Williams. Y'all ain't got no more room for another center. We'll start with Montrez and Pirtle for sure. We'll start with Montrez. That's fine. They only got one. Nah, they got 3 centers. Because also you can run. They technically, yes, they're 4s, but when you look at the size difference, like what's the size difference between? Let's just do it real quick. Montrezl Harrell is Montrezl Harrell is 6'7", bro. He's a power forward at heart. He just, I don't think, has as much skill as some other power forwards, so they play him as center because he's a high energy guy. But I mean, Grant Williams can play the 5 just fine. And honestly, I love Horford at the 5 a lot of the times, because Grant Williams is only 6'6". And Al Horford, I love Horford at the 5 a lot of times because he allows y'all to play small ball, which it really ain't small ball considering he's 6'9". But he can shoot the ball and stretch the floor a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Horford 6'9", Grant is 6'6", Trez is 6'7". So to me, I mean not Trez. The White is we're talking about Trez. Child, clearly I'm tired. That's my fault. You talking about the White. So you want like a legit center. I see what you're saying now. All right. I'll take back what I said. I still don't think you need him. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Replacing everything I said about the White with Montrez. I see now that you didn't said it, and I realized you're talking about Dwight Howard instead of Montrezl Harrell. You see me hesitating because I was gonna say I don't think you need it, but y'all did run a lot of times, and y'all ran. Dang, who was your other backup? I cannot remember his name. White guy, center, like 6'10", 6. Who was your other backup last year? Dang, who was your backup? Now I gotta look up Celtics roster because I can't think of who your backup was. Celtics roster just last season would have been Theis. Like y'all ran Theis a lot, so I guess you can potentially make the argument that Theis might have been like I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know at this stage in Dwight's career. I don't really know if he's better than Theis. But why do I feel like Theis isn't on your roster anymore? Did y'all trade him? Smart, Brogdon, Pritchard, Brown, White. Yeah, I know Danilo Gallinari is out, and that sucks. That sucks for Boston because I was high on that. Thank you. He was a part of the Brogdon trade. I was like, y'all got rid of Theis. Yeah, he's part of the Brogdon trade. Did they not replace him though? Did they not pick somebody up to replace? Not to replace Gallinari, but did they not? Did the Celtics make a move? Why don't I feel like I saw the Celtics making a move? Oh yeah, the Celtics are rumored to get Carmelo Anthony. Now I don't know if they will do it, but the Celtics are rumored to get Carmelo Anthony to fill the gap that Danilo Gallinari will no longer be able to fill. I don't know how y'all feel about that, especially Celtics fans getting Carmelo. Oh, did he actually sign there? I don't know how true this is. I don't know if he actually signed there yet. It looks like it's just rumored. Like there's interest, especially since Gallinari suffered a tear. I think that'd be solid. Like I don't mind. I think Melo would be solid. If I'm the Celtics, because you have Al Horford, and because you have Grant Williams, and you have Time Lord, and if you really need to, Jason Tatum can play some 4. Nah, it didn't happen yet. It didn't happen yet, but it is rumored. I saw the rumor from. Who would I see the rumor from? I mean, it was low key, mainly local Boston peeps. Like I want to say I saw the Boston Globe write about it, but I don't remember who they cited as their source, or they might have been the source. Some people are citing Scoop B. That's a name low-key I didn't hear about till this past offseason, but apparently he's credible. But it's rumored. Oh, Boston exec liked the tweet with them. Like I'm saying, I like the Melo signing for them to keep it a beam, but I don't know. Range, let me see what you're just talking about. You said check the server. Shameless plug, you know what I mean? Join the Discord if you're not in it, because I'm about to read Range's list from the Discord. Bucks, Celtics. Casting me ain't got no experience in chemistry. That he and Sixers, I think eventually this is better. I think the Sixers is so far. Okay. So this is Rage's Eastern Conference list, right? Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Sixers, Cavs at 5, then the Nets, then the Hawks. Wait, Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Sixers, Cavs, Nets, Hawks, Bulls at 8. So the outside team looking in would be the Raptors. That's interesting. Not mad at it. Then you says the Cavs to me don't got the experience and chemistry and the Heat that the Sixers have. I think defensively the Heat and Sixers are better. Offensively, I think the Sixers and Heat are still on par with the Cavs. The thing is, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I know. I called you Range on accident. You know what I meant. It's all love. Rage, I can see the Cavs being 5, but that's kind of where I put them. I ain't gonna hold you. That is kind of where I put them. Dang, Lance. I definitely feel bad for Isaiah Thomas. All right, let's play a quick game of Pirtle. Y'all got anything else we was talking about, right? No? Yeah? No? No? Yeah? I like the Cavs, Rage. I ain't gonna hold you. Because you mentioned the Sixers and the Heat defensively, and you sent the picture of Bam. That's gonna be a big part of their defense. But I mean, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, like the Cavs were, I want to say top 5 in defense before Allen got hurt. They might have been top 3. Like the Cavs were really, really good before, especially defensively before Jared Allen went down. And I'm low-key expecting Mobley to make a jump. You get Isaac Okoro playing some more minutes. In theory, call me crazy, but in theory, I'm expecting to see a better defensive player out of Donovan Mitchell. And hear me out before you go crazy. The reason I say this, if you go back and watch Donovan Mitchell in college, he was a much, much better defender, playing at the bare minimum, playing with a whole lot more energy on defense than he had been in Utah. You could make the argument that the reason he didn't play that much defense or any defense at all in Utah is because he had to do so much on the offensive side of the ball that he was gassed and didn't have the energy to play defense for the Jazz because he had to do so much, right? On the offensive side of the ball. With playing alongside Darius Garland, he's never played alongside a guard literally this good. He's never played alongside an all-star guard ever. Shout out to Mike Conley, but at that point in Mike Conley's career, when he got to the Jazz, he was not what Darius Garland is and can be. So the theory is, if he can take some of that offensive pressure off of himself by sharing the ball and sharing some of the offensive load with Darius Garland, you might see a better defender out of him. And if you can get a better defender out of Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs defense gonna be really, really nice as well. That's just me saying in terms of a lot of people saying that the Cavs defense might not be on par with what the Sixers and Heat can produce. But I mean, it's like I said, it's a big if. Obviously, I know it's a big if. It's like, Hawk, would you talk about? We ain't never seen Donovan Mitchell play defense at the NBA. I know. But I'm just saying, he's not going to have to expend as much energy on the offensive side of the ball. He might be able to use a little bit of energy playing defense. It's a hope and a dream of mine, I guess you could say. Where was that defense against the Hawks? Who, from the Cavs? Well, you know. It's because they had Garland guarding him, even not potentially a Montrez who's actually trying to play defense. That's why. All right, let me look at Unlimited's list real quick. Once again, get the Discord and I might have read your list. You know what I mean? We're trying to get the Discord to 100. You know what I mean? Once the NBA season start, I'm hoping and praying, and I think we will get some more traction on streams and videos and stuff. We're going to get this Discord to 100 people. Mark my words. Before the end of this calendar year, we're going to be at 100 people in the Discord. Unlimited says, Hawks, he got the Bucks, the Celtics, hey, Sixers at 3, Nets at 4. Hey, that's a little high for me, I ain't going to lie to you. Heat at 5. Well, it's not really. I said they in the mix. Heat at 5. Cavs at 6. Okay. Bulls at 7. Hawks at 8. Raptors at 9. Knicks at 10. Then Wizards, Magic, Pistons, Hornets, Pacers. Bulls and Hawks are interchangeable if Lonzo is unhealthy. then put the Hawks higher. I'm not mad at that. Speaking of the Knicks, so let's talk about. I forgot to talk about this. We talked about the mid three. So the Knicks extended RJ. They offered the trade package for Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz were like, we're not really rocking with it. So they went ahead and extended RJ last Monday, right? I want to say that was last Monday. Or this past Monday. I can't remember. The days just... No, that was definitely last Monday. Or is that this Monday? Did we talk about that already? My point is, regardless, my point is that looking at the Eastern Conference and looking at Range's list, he has the Knicks at the 10 seed. And I'll be honest, I don't think that's crazy. Like the Knicks to me are like an 11-9. So they might be in the play-in. I'd be shocked if they surprise somebody and win their play-in games and make the playoffs. It just goes to show you how good the Eastern Conference is because they just signed Jalen Brunson. They extended RJ Barrett. They have over $300 million locked up in 3 guys who, in my mind, probably won't lead them to the playoffs in the East, which is probably, I don't want to disrespect the Knicks because everybody piles on top of the Knicks, but it's crazy to think about. That's just how talented the Eastern Conference is. And I said it in my video breaking down the trade between Donovan Mitchell. The trade for Donovan Mitchell. This is probably the most competitive Eastern Conference I've seen since I became a basketball fan. So, it ain't, the longest time period, but you go back to at least like 2007, 2008. Yeah, this is a very competitive Eastern Conference. All right, let's play Pirtle, y'all. Y'all know the vibe. What team is Lance Stevenson on? Yeah, he plays in China. I want to say he plays, not to be funny, but I'm almost certain he plays for the Shanghai Sharks. Dang, we never did start with Nikola Jovic. Remind me next week to start with Jokic, only because I said we're going to start with Trez. And since now Trez is a Sixer, I got to, you know what I mean? Okay, I thought it was going to be cool and just type in Montrez. I thought I was just going to type in Trez, but I forgot you can't just do that. All right. Connie, did you know Montrez? Did you know Montrez was the thing? Is that why you told me to start with him? Did you know Montrez was today? Is that why you said start with him? Dang it. I was really looking forward to doing today's Pirtle. Larry Birtle it is. Oh, good looks, Shaw. I don't even remember what I muted myself. Good looks. What was I saying? How long was we muted? I was confused because I'm sitting here looking at this top part, and I'm like, yo, when did they add this legacy? And dang, Rage was gonna let me know I was muted. All I keep seeing is Rage saying muted. I know it's a delay though, so I knew y'all was gonna hear me eventually. And SGA. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't see nobody trading SGA. Oh. No, I wouldn't do it if I'm the Knicks because I just got Brunson. SGA Grimes topping quickly, 3 to 5 picks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. I want SGA to go to a good team, but I don't like. I would love for SGA to get traded, but I don't want to get traded to the Knicks. That just might be the SGA fan in me. All right. Now we're gonna do. Hey, Şengün's my guy. We're gonna do Jovic. I saw your trade idea. I looked at it, chuckled, and kept scrolling, talking about some Nikola Jovic and Robinson for Embiid. I didn't even spell Nikola Jovic's name. Oh. Is Jovic not in the game yet? Nah, Jovic ain't in the game yet. We need a new guy. Jovic ain't in the game yet. I see Eric Gordon. Let's do Eric Gordon. All right, Western Conference guard. Western Conference, a little bit taller than 6'3". So a guard forward that's a little bit taller than 6'3", a lot younger. Let's try Anthony Edwards just to see, because he's a guard, also plays small forward. He's like 6'4", 6'5". Anthony Edwards is 6'4", but he just have him listed as a guard. So we did a guard forward that's 6'4", older than 20 in the Pacific Division. SGA's Northwest Division, unfortunately. Poole. Will they have him listed as forward, though? I don't know if they'll have him listed as forward. What is it? What do you mean show division? What is that? Oh, they got the little cheat code for you? That's hilarious. Well, I'll leave. I don't know my divisions, but I'll leave it for y'all. That's hilarious. I never noticed that. So Pacific Division, you got the Warriors, you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers, Suns, and Kings. Bridges is taller than 6'4". Norm? How tall is Norman Powell? Norman Powell might. Norm might be 6'4". Norm 6'3". Dang. I knew it was close. What is the age on this guy? So he's like 25? He wasn't close to, so it's not 22, it's not 27, so he's either 23 to 26. So Terrence Davis. I'll give Poole a try. I don't know off the top of my head how tall he is. I feel like he's gonna be too young though, because Poole, like I know Poole sat his first year, but I don't know how long he spent in college. Like I don't think Poole's 25. Nah, it can't be Booker because Booker would just be, if Poole's 20, if is Poole 22 or 23 though? Because if he's 22, it would have been yellow. If he's 23, it could be valid. It can't be Devin Booker because Devin Booker just plays guard. He doesn't play forward. Low-key, even Poole only plays guard. Because I'm trying to think of the lineups they run. Like, I don't remember many line. I mean, unless you count once Clay was back. Like, did they run Wiggins? Did they run Steph, Clay, and Poole? Or Steph, Gary Payton, and Poole? All right, we'll give Poole a try. Poole is 23, but it's not Poole. Poole is 23, but it's not Poole. All right, so let me think. Who's on the Clippers? Y'all keep saying Terrence Davis. I'm not even going to cap. The name sound familiar, but I couldn't tell you who that is off the top of my head. Also, I don't think it's Terrence Davis because Terrence Davis, I feel like I have it set on starters. Is Terrence start for the Kings? That's something I should know, but I ain't gonna hold you. Terrence Davis starts for the Kings. All right, I need to watch more Kings games. I'm dedicated to watch more Kings games this year because I don't know most of their roster. Malik Monk is 23. All right, hold on. I'm gonna guess Davis, and then I'm gonna guess Monk because he might be. All right, 6'4", but he's 25. Too old. Okay. All right. But did Malik just get traded to the Cavs? I mean, to the Kings? Like, isn't Malik Monk a King now? Am I not mistaken? Or are we saying they probably don't have the new teams? Is that our guess? They don't have the new teams yet? So it'll say he's still a Laker? All right, we'll try Monk. Oh, nope. See, yeah, they do have the new teams, and they have him on the Kings. But it's not Malik Monk because he's only 6'3". All right, so we did the Clippers, we did the Warriors, we did the Kings. So that leaves the Lakers and the Suns. Mikal Bridges isn't 6'4", is he? THT? Nah, it better not be THT. I'd be mad. I have this love-hate relationship with THT. What's THT's jersey number? Anybody know? I know I don't know jersey numbers. This game would be so much easier if we knew jersey numbers because the fact that the 3 is yellow. Yeah, if they did the trades already, then yeah, THT would be on the Jazz. Because they had Malik Monk here, so that means they did the trades. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of the Suns, and I'm thinking Cam Johnson. Bridges would be too tall, but Cam Johnson could fit. I like Cam Johnson. I like Cam Johnson. Do y'all not have Cam Johnson? Or is his full name Cameron Johnson? Okay. All right. I don't know people's full names. Yo, it's not Cam. Oh, Cam 6'8"? Oh, my fault. That's on me. That Cam Johnson. So it's got to be a Laker. All right. Is it Austin Reeves? How tall is Austin Reeves? I know it's got to be some Laker fans in here. Lonnie Walker did just get traded. And Lonnie Walker is young. This is our last guess. Austin Reeves is 24. And 6'5", so it's not him. So Lonnie Walker? 6'4", 23. Did you Google that? Reeves worth 15. All right. If we don't get it on this one, we don't get it. I'm guessing Lonnie Walker. This was a bad one, chat. That was a bad one, chat. I ain't gonna hold you. We did not do too hot. We've done better. We've done better. We've definitely done better. All right. Give me another name. We gotta redeem ourselves. Give me another name. Nah, we gotta redeem ourselves. That one was ugly. Let me see. All right, Şengün. Şengün, Western Conference, 19, 20 years old. 20-year-old guard. Oh wow, D12. Is there anybody else in the league that's D12 besides Dwight Howard? Because if Range is saying Dwight, that's low. I should have did Dwight. That's my guy. That was my initial thought, Ant, but I can't remember if he's actually 20, if he's 20 years old or not. But I like that guess. We're gonna go Anthony Edwards. Hey, see, there we go. That felt more like it. That felt more like it. Anthony Edwards on the second guess. Shout out to Dwight Howard, one of my favorite centers of all time. One of my favorite centers of all time. But all right, y'all. It's 9:40. We've been going for an hour and a half. I appreciate y'all. This has been fun. Like I said, if you came to the stream late and you missed the list, you know me, I'm gonna chop up the stream, I'm gonna break it down and probably upload that by once again, the goal is Friday, so I'll probably edit that tomorrow night. Oh, we also have another episode of Let's Talk Hoops that should be coming out sometime early next week. I have an interview with what is his name? I follow him on TikTok. I love his content. I watch him on YouTube. He's kind of like, I would say, my size in terms of following. So like not a ton of people know about him, but his content's really, really good. I think y'all will like him. And I got to reach out to Fox Burner still, because a lot of y'all put me on the Fox Burner and y'all put me on to a couple of other people I got to reach out to. I shot some DMs out some of the big creators. Y'all keep telling me to hit up Kenny. I shot him a DM. I have yet to hear back. Y'all keep telling me to hit up like basically all the through the wire guys. I hit up Pierre. I haven't heard back yet. I hit up Legend of Winning. I hit up Low. I haven't heard back yet. AM Hoops. I'll check him out. So yeah, the big creators are hard for me to get in contact with. But I have a couple of guys from TikTok that also do YouTube stuff that know me, and we're trying to organize when we're going to do that. It would have been last week, but a couple of them, believe it or not, actually were in LA for the 2K Community Day. They got invited to Community Day. I'm like, oh, all right, y'all famous. So the Let's Talk Hoops series has not died. It's just hard to find guests sometimes. All right. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace. All right, where's my mouse? All right, peace for real.